This is a lecture that probably most of you are a little bit familiar, and this is about Docker, and in particular this is about Docker Compose YML file. Let us try to open the file now. There are some differences here that I noticed. That, for example, I no longer find the need to put a links key here, for example machine 2, in order for the machine 1 Ubuntu container to be able to ping machine 2 by its name. I noticed that I no longer need these links. In fact, even without the links, we can all still ping the machines together with each other. For example, let me change this to 10. Let us enable restart. Okay, but first let me explain the parts of the YML file. So at a high level, there are two services, and the first service is machine 1 and the second service is machine 2. So a service is provided by a container. So machine 1 service is provided by the Mac1 container, which is an Ubuntu image. So machine 1 can be like a high level description of what the container is trying to do, like it could be a web, but here we just say it's machine 1 without any naming decorations of what it is. It's just machine 1. At a service level, it is machine 1, but it is provided by the container. So the container name is Mac1. This is analogous to a host name of a machine. So, and the command is the command that is run when the container is created. And here we just slept for 10 seconds. And after that, the container will exit because when the command PID1 of the container dies, the container also will exit. However, there is a restart always flag added, so that container will be restarted back. And there are actually two purposes of restart. First, this parameter restart always will make sure that when the host machine is rebooted back, the container will auto start. So you don't need to run the container again, it will automatically start on its own without the restart always flag. And you turn off the host machine and you turn it back on, and the containers will not be running. So if you want your containers to be always running when the machine is turned on, then you need to pass restart always flag in the Docker Compose. You can also pass this policy restart always if you use docker run command. So we need to differentiate Docker from Docker Compose. This session that we are discussing now is about Docker Compose. The main difference is that Docker Compose allows us to run multiple containers with a one command. We can do it with the Docker command, but it will be a lot of typing. The Docker Compose saves us from those typing by declaratively stating here in a compose file all the containers that we wanted, and we just need to invoke one command, docker compose app, and I need to pass D to put my shell back in the background. So it is important that when you run Docker Compose, you need to be on the same folder as where the Docker Compose YML file is. So I don't know if you can do it remotely and just specify a -L flag specifying the location. I haven't tried it yet. Please, maybe I will take a look at that one. So let's do it now. Two containers are running. Let us enter into one of the containers. And now we are in the first container. Sleep 10 seconds. As you notice, I was exited back because the container died when the 10 seconds has elapsed. But if we do Docker PS, we can still see the container being respawned back again because of the restart always policy that we specified in the Docker compose file. And we also noticed that the container ID did not change during the stop and the start of the container. It sticks to the same container ID. However, let me enter into the Mac 2 because this is a little bit, it has a sleep infinity. It will stick there. And inside the machine 2, let me create a file in the TMP. I was here. Then let me exit. Okay. Now, if I stop the containers by issuing Docker compose stopped, the two containers will be stopped and it will be in a halted mode, but still available in the file system. They are just stopped. And if we do Docker PS, we cannot see them, but if we do Docker PS A, we can see that these two, as the two containers that we just stopped, they are in halted mode right now. We can start them back by issuing the command Docker compose start. And if we go inside container and check the TMP folder, and we can see the file, hence proving that this was the container we entered a few seconds ago. However, if you do Docker compose down, this will stop the containers and at the same time erase the containers incompletely. So everything that you did in those containers are gone. And if we do Docker PS, the containers are gone. Then if we do Docker compose up, and if we go inside one of the containers, and you can see that our file is no longer there, hence this is a fresh container taken from the image. We can stop the containers, and the containers are stopped but not erased. So the pairing is start and stop. These are pair, start and stop, and up and down. Well, where now the containers are stopped, I am curious what happens if I do Docker compose up. Let us create a file here. Let us stop the containers. And let us do another up. I am curious if I will be getting the containers as it was before. Okay, so it brings us to the previous container. So if we do opt, it will just start the containers that was stopped. It will not create another set of containers. Down. Okay, so one last thing that I'll do is to make sure that each container can ping each other, even though the length argument is not specified in the YAML file. And as you can see, I can ping machine 1 despite we did not specify the links in the Docker Compose file, and I noticed that in the host file there is no alias name there. So this is now an improvement in Docker. It's no longer use the etc host file to do the links. If we enter into the first machine, okay, and we can also ping the other machine. So let me stop now. So now we can notice that there are differences now. So my version of Docker is this one. 17.03 Community Edition. So thank you for watching, and please put your comments there explaining why even if we not use the links, we can still ping each other container.